Καλώς ήρθατε λοιπόν σε ακόμα ένα μονοδολόγιο και με κάποιες μικρές αλλαγές από ό,τι παρατηρείτε. Και σήμερα έχουμε μαζί μας τη Sally Hammond και την Kathy McNee από την Αυστραλία. Okay, so let's come back a bit to the course. And so Sally, tell us a bit more because you've written the course. When did it all start? How did it all start?
Okay, well, it all started when I had young children. So this was back in the 90s, I guess, when my children were little. And I was looking around for a course because I felt I needed tools to help me cope with all these little ones. And there wasn't very much around at the time and where we lived, which was sort of in the country at that stage. But we did have access to one course, and so we started having a look at that. There was nobody that ran this particular course in our area. So a couple of friends and we decided, well, let's run it for ourselves, and any friends that want to join us, we'll just go through the book and we'll talk about it.
That's quite adventurous.
It was pretty adventurous, and that's where it all started. And then we loved this course that we were teaching, which we hadn't really been trained to teach, but we just started travelling around the state. We were living in Tasmania then, and we went to different parts of Tasmania and taught this course to other people.
Talk about determination and initiative, I would say.
And I think the best thing about it was that it helped me with my children. I would teach about listening to your kids, and then I would go home and be a better listener. Or I would teach about trying to be positive and speak positive words to your children, then I would go home and be more positive with my family.
It was a constant influence, a reminder for you,
It was a constant reminder. Oh, that's right, this is important. Oh, that's right, I can be firm. I can say no and mean no. All those little things, you just need to keep being reminded, even though you kind of know it in the back of your head. You need to be freshened up.
That's true.
It's the beauty of teaching it, actually. Because every time you teach it, you can take it home and go, I can do that. Yes,
that's true.
So we worked with this particular course for a while, and then we realised that it was becoming a little bit old and outdated in parts of it, and there were new fresh things coming through in a lot of parenting books at the time. So my task was to develop this course, and I contacted the lady that had written it, and she was happy for us to do whatever we wanted with this course, pull it to bits, rewrite it.
It's quite impressive how she trusted you with that.
I'm very grateful to this lady. She was getting older and she was ready to sort of finish up with her role.
Retire.
Hand over.
Hand it over to someone. So we rewrote it, we wrote a new course, and we used parts of the old one, and we used bits and pieces from books and discoveries that we were making ourselves, and we built it into this course called Families.
It's great because what I've seen up to now, it's very practical also.
Yes.
Can you share a bit about the units, the topics that you were discussing about in the course?
Yes, well, we have we start with the foundations of what it is to build a solid foundation for your family to grow and come from. And we actually have used the symbol of the tree because the tree obviously has its roots.
It's a nice symbol, just to remind us.
But the tree provides for us a picture of what our families can be and the hope for our families. So we can dig deep and have good solid roots based around what we value. So just choosing what it is that you find valuable, and everything comes from that. And so the branches tend to be, they sprout from what it is that you find you hold true to be good for your family.
So it's not just the parenting as an automatic instinct, like the first reaction or something, but you get us to think about the direction. What do we really value? What's really important for us?
I think a lot of us we come to parenting without any training at all. None of us have done a course before we parent, and all we've got to go on is how we were raised. It might be that we've watched other families around us and we've picked up clues from them, but mostly we go on what our parents did.
Yeah.
And it may be good, but it may not be great.
And it definitely has shaped us.
It's
Shaped our perspective and our view.
And sometimes you'll react to your children. They'll do something and you'll find, it sounds like your mother coming out of your mouth. And
It's embarrassing, but it's happening.
it's shocking, isn't it? You think,
Yeah.
whoa, who was that?
Yeah.
Which can be a good thing, and sometimes can be a good thing.
Yeah.
And yes.
Yes, but
We
it's
love
good
you,
to.
Mum.
It's great to have a time where you stop and think: Do I want to be like my parents, or are there some things that I would do differently?
Yeah.
And so, doing a course like this gives you a chance to stop and think about parenting, not just do what comes automatically, but to think about the way you were parented and to think, I wonder what I'd take from that and what I'd do differently.
And be more intentional about it. Yeah.
And I think the course provides that opportunity to stop.
Yeah.
And there's a real value because in the moment, when we're parenting, in the moment, there's not that opportunity to go,
No.
what should I do at this point?
No, yeah.
So having thought it through beforehand
Yes.
and shared, and that's the nice thing about the course also is that we get to almost become a family as we journey and experience and explore different ways. But that opportunity to stop and go, how could I do that?
Yeah.
How could I do it differently?
Yes.
How, what is, it's just
Yes.
a great moment to stop.
You've also mentioned before that the course talks about all different ages, like it starts from preschool and then school kids and then teenage children. So how does that happen? Like it's for us that we're hearing for the first times, like how can they approach all these different age stages?
Well, yes, it's a good question because you can do courses for toddlers.
Yes.
Or you can do a course in raising teenagers.
Yeah.
But the principles that we've got in our course, they're really applicable to any age group. When you look at it, it's the same thing. It might be expressed differently if you've got a teenager, but it's the same principle. So we figure that it doesn't really matter what age children parents have. They need to know the same things. They need to know about building a warm, loving relationship with their kids, and that's true whether they're 2 or whether they're 15.
Yeah.
And they need to learn about boundaries, and that children need fences. They need to know what is okay and what is not okay.
Yeah.
And that's true whether they're a toddler or a teenager as well. So all the principles in the course apply to any age, even to adults.
Yes, that's true. So building nurturing skills, what are the next, tell us a bit the points, the units that you're working on the course.
Okay. Well, the first one, as Kath said, is the foundational things like having values in your family and understanding the style of parenting you come from. The second unit talks about nurturing skills, which is the ways that we can build a warm, loving relationship with our kids so that they trust us and they feel understood by us.
So important,
The third one is about understanding their age and stage. So if your child is 3 years old, there'll be certain things that life is all about for them, exploring and asking questions and being curious. So it's really helpful to understand what's normal for that age so that you can respond appropriately.
That's true.
And it's really important when they're a teenager to know that their friends are so important and what their friends think of them, and they're trying to work out who they are. And if you understand that, then you can cope with some of the grumpy stuff that teenagers are into. The fourth session is about building an honest relationship with our kids. Tell me if I get this wrong. I got that
False
one wrong.
positive. It's
I
my
did get it
favourite.
wrong.
Unit 4 is being positive.
Okay.
My favourite unit.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, if you met her personally, you would agree with me.
It's a really powerful unit.
Yeah.
Because we can actually put our boundaries in place by being positive.
Okay.
Which is quite for some people, it's quite a new thing.
That's what I was going to say.
Because often we want to say no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
But actually you can do it in a really, in a very loving and positive way.
we need this reminder. Like I see myself, this reminder so much during the day when we're struggling to put things in place and explain things and wake up again and again with the same behavior and you know, all the feelings gather up.
And yet, having watched you for the last little bit, you have been able to do that beautiful, positive, and our tone of voice is so important. And I love your tone of voice, the way you are with Petra.
Thank you. She's trying to comfort me, my stress.
Being positive is
Yes.
a great one. And then we move into building honest relationships with our children, which is incredibly important because our kids can see through us, and our kids know when we really mean no, and or when we're just at a loss, and so we're fumbling a little bit, and they can pick that up.
Yeah.
But it's also important for them to be. It's part of a value for them to work out what. You know, how to...
It's interesting, because we as parents, I feel sometimes that I have to be strong, I have to look strong for him, but how can I balance honesty and being real with them, but still being the one that they need me to be, like a mom, and not just,
And sometimes we think if we tell children we've made a mistake, or we've done something we shouldn't have done, that it will make us look weak, or they won't respect us. But it's actually the opposite is true. If we can go to our kids and say, sorry, I shouldn't have yelled at you then.
Yes.
I was wrong. That is teaching them so much. They will respect us more, and it will bring us closer in our relationship with them. And it's role modelling to them how to say sorry and how to admit that you've made a mistake.
Petros is 2 years and a half, you've met him, and there were a few times that I've said that to him, and his expression is quite unique at that moment. Obviously he doesn't have lots to say and give a very sophisticated feedback on that. No. But still, I can really understand that he takes it in, and that it's something that it does something to him. It influences him.
That's special.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And it will. You may well see that come through him when he comes to say sorry to you, which is very powerful. Yes. So then after our ages and stages unit, we also have a unit that looks at how when our children are born, they're very dependent on who we are, we're tied together in a sense. And then it's watching them develop and go through that from being dependent through to being interdependent and just journeying with them through that, and how best to do that with them. That's a great unit. And our last two units are ones that often parents are going, yes, give me these two units, because the first one is on discipline.
Sounds like the magic word sometimes.
and dealing with conflict. 2 units which, interestingly, by the time we get to the end of the course, in a sense, what it's doing is actually pulling all of the things that we've done, and people can see that dealing with conflict brings you right back to the beginning, where we talk about building our boundaries and having the relationships and the love, and it's lovely. So it sort of ties it neatly together.
I bet that these 2 units would be, you would have lots of people asking you questions about parenting. And stay tuned, because we will have another interview with all our friends here, and we'll stay prepared, you ladies, for our questions. But there would be the first 2 most frequently asked questions about discipline and what do you do when they fight,
I think that is very true.
It's true that you're also offering opportunity for the parents that attend the course to get trained themselves.
That's true.
Okay, how does that happen?
Okay, well, on Monday next week, we're going to get together with a few mums who would like to continue on developing, working with this course in Greece. And we're going to just chat over how do you do that, how do you run a course, what special things do you need to know or look out for, a few teaching tips. And then the mums will practice teaching, either to us if we have time, or even after we've left to go home. with each other.
Yeah.
They'll have a go.
Yeah.
Have a go at teaching each other the course and build up some skills of their own, so that as a team they can then deliver the course locally around here, which would be wonderful.
Yeah. How can that be used as a tool? I have the sense that this can be a very powerful tool to influence. Give us a few ideas.
Well, we've had preschools and schools come to us and say, can you come and deliver the course with our parents?
Okay.
And so we've done that over 4 weeks, so
Okay.
one evening a week for 4 weeks. We've gone into a preschool and had a group of parents there and delivered the course, and they found it incredibly helpful. In fact, I remember one mum coming back after the first week and she said, we've just had the easiest week we've had in a long, long time, because the material was so helpful once she started to put it into place. And I think parents really want tools. They
Yes.
really want to know.
Yeah.
There's so many situations when you're a parent you think, oh, what am I meant to do now?
Yes. Yeah.
How am I meant to respond? And this is an opportunity for parents to come together and talk about all those situations. Not just get information from experts, but talk about it amongst themselves and say, what do you do? And then they can give each other ideas as well. And I think a lot of us parents just really, really want that. So it is influencing, we can influence the society to a greater extent the more we can make this tool available.
Definitely. Or even within groups, friends of mothers or groups of mothers that go and meet in places like the group that we have. We could share this with each other. We could invite
Yes.
other neighbors and just share this. Or even thinking primary school, like there is a committee of parents that they get up and meet. It'd be great if we had a tool so